28 series, at least one road win in all 28, a continuing NBA record. How did you guys close this fourth quarter?
It was all defense. I mean, on the road, that's been our struggle all year, is just trying to will enough stops. And once we did that, I mean, the offense wasn't pretty because it's playoffs and you could feel the intensity in the building. Clay hits a big shot in the corner. Draymond's attacking the glass, or attacking the rim. Every possession, every time he got it, Loon, 22 rebounds. Like our offense, it wasn't high power, but we were decisive and didn't turn it over, which gave ourselves a chance to set up our defense, and connecting the game down the stretch is huge. It's the only way to win on the road, and it's nice to kind of overcome the history of the regular season on the road finally.
Steph, you guys had 60 points in the paint. That's big time. You had a bunch of those. Can you describe what you saw on that last and one layup where you just kept probing, kept your dribble alive?
I mean, I had some good looks from threes, pretty much all game. He just missed a bunch of them, but the way that they're pressuring Davion, he just tried to get into the ball. Even Fox is picking up a half court, so once you get back past the first line of defense, you just got to see, where Sabonis is. He's not really a rim protector, but he tries to show himself early, but we can find a lot of good looks that way and negate their pressure. That last one was just trying, literally all I was thinking about was don't turn it over, don't turn it over, don't turn it over. And then finally the lane opened up for a layup.
You're his teammate, but can you realize that one of the nice Warrior plays is a missed shot that Looney will just get it back to somebody else, and you guys get second chance points? How do you get 22 rebounds in 34 minutes?
It's a luxury to have. I mean, I don't know, his hands has a magnet connected to the ball. We say the word, he's relentless. He finds, the angles, and he's pretty sure-handed once he gets it to find the open guy. So it was a big effort on his part. Second 20-rebound game of the series. I think, that gives us such good momentum and allows us to have extra possessions, and it's huge for us.
What were the talks like in the fourth quarter, Steph, when the Kings got in the bonus and Malik Monk is attacking downhill, and it looked like they were just going to make it tough on you, but your defense just held strong?
Just withstand their pressure and the runs and the momentum. This is the playoffs. This is an electric building. They're going to make a run at some point and not lay down. And we just had to keep our composure. There wasn't much conversation on the bench besides locking in on the details of how we needed to defend and what offense we were running. And I think we got the focus on that and not really, worry about the crowd noise or whatnot, knowing we still had control of the game. You look up, we still have the lead. And on the road, that's all you want.
All right, we'll finish off with this. You've played the fourth quarter, the whole fourth quarter, 3 of these 5 games. I know you love talking about your minutes in the rotation. It's your favorite topic. But your endurance at age 35, come on, man. Playing all 42 minutes with the energy. I mean, the fitness level is off the charts. I think that's what everybody marvels at. But mentally, you just don't ever seem to slow down.
No, it's built on years and years and years of work. I know my guy Brandon Payne's watching. It's just the constant, cycle of all-season work that you put in so that you're ready for this time of the year, and that you can sustain that level of cardio and intensity. And I really pride myself on it. Yes, sir. And it's my superpower out here because I'm not the most athletic or the fastest and all that. I just got to be able to run the longest.
All right, get in there, get in with your teammates. Congratulations, 3-2 and a closeout opportunity Friday at 5 o'clock.
Yes, sir, appreciate it.
Good work, brother.
That is old man strength.
Helpful, and I thought they did a great job tonight of staying poised down the stretch when Sacramento made their run, and really made some big plays in the last 4 or 5 minutes to seal the win.
Steve, just how impactful was Draymond Green's play tonight? It just seems like he was all over the place.
Yeah, Draymond was amazing, especially down the stretch. They were calling him Draymond Nowitzki after the fadeaway. It was maybe the biggest shot of the game. That and Wiggs hit a fadeaway as well. Those 2 shots, probably were the 2 that stood out. Obviously, Steph and Clay. And, there were a lot of big shots made in the game, but those 2 stand out to me. When Sacramento played really good defense, and those guys knocked down shots at key times.
Steve, you closed with your old reliable lineup, Steph, Clay, Wiggins, Draymond, and Looney. There was a time when they were out there and the Kings were coming at them. You called timeout. Did you just decide I'm going to stick with these guys? Was there a thought maybe to put Poole back in there, or just ride your guys?
No, we're gonna ride our guys. That's our best lineup, best two-way lineup. Loon just gets every rebound, and so what we give up in spacing, we gain in offensive rebounding and defense, and so that's our lineup, and both. Dre and Loon are so good setting screens and recognizing how to get our other guys open. So I think that's why that lineup works offensively. But yeah, we were going to stay with them, and they got the job done.
I know you were kind of joking about the Draymond Nowitzki comment, but he had season high 21 tonight. Yeah. He took 14 shots in the last game, didn't make them. Have you seen through tape, like, this is the series, he needs to score, and then what did you see?
Yeah. We've talked about it throughout the series that our bigs need to be aggressive, especially the way Sacramento is guarding us. They're putting a lot of pressure on the perimeter. So Draymond found some openings tonight and attacked the rim well and really finished well.
Yesterday at practice, you were saying that this is a different team than it was just a couple months ago. It's different than even at the start of the series. What caused you to lose those first two games? Is that the difference? Did you see the difference here tonight?
Yeah. That's that's our team. With a healthy group, we can put two-way lineups out there. I thought Gary was fantastic tonight. Made some big plays, gave us huge minutes. So having Gary back, having Wiggs back, and having a healthy roster, I think you can see we're a different team now.
Steve over here. Can you talk a little bit more about Kevin Looney and Kevon Looney, what he does and how invaluable he is?
Yeah, he just does all the stuff that coaches love. He sets screens, he rebounds, when he gets a rebound, he's constantly looking to throw the ball back out to the open three-point shooter. He never turns the ball over. He had 7 assists tonight, so we can run some offense through him. And he's excellent defensively. He doesn't maybe look the part, but he can stay in front of guards, plays with great verticality and length, and he's a championship player, but this is who he's been for years now.
Coach Kerr, in the middle of it, it's loud, but is there just a moment where you guys kind of look at each other and feel like, okay, we got this, we've been here before? Is that ever kind of exchanged?
No, not really. In the middle of it, the game, we just want to, keep going. Don't get too excited. So we've been in this position when we won, but this year we also had some games where we was up and we kind of blew the lead and gave the game away. So it's a great team. They can score really quick. So when we got a little lead, our tennis went up that we had to lock in and really focus and stick to the game plan.
Kevon, can you talk about your role and just your desire to rebound and how your whole career in general, and you're just in a good groove?
Yeah, for this team, my job is to really rebound. Sometimes we go out there pretty small, and especially when Draymond's not starting, I need to kind of set the tone with the physicality and the rebounds. That's really been the key to the game. Whenever we're able to keep the rebounds pretty even and keep the possession battle even, we've got a great shot at winning. And so for this series, I really want to try to set the tone, try to get every rebound, be greedy in that way. And I think it's been helping our team, and I've been playing well. My minutes been up, and I've been feeling good.
Who started the Draymond Nowitzki chants on the bench?
I'm not sure. It's probably with Steph. He said it as soon as he came in the locker room. That's the first thing he said. And it's cool to see Draymond to getting his scoring back. We all know he can do a lot of things on offense that he doesn't do. He's playing his role, but it's good to see him out there scoring and being aggressive.
Did that remind you? I mean, you mentioned him getting his scoring back. Did that remind you a little of 2016?
Yeah, definitely. My rookie year when I came in, Draymond, he probably averaged about 16, 15, almost a double-double, and he was always scoring and being really aggressive. And as our team changed, his role has changed, so he doesn't always have to do that anymore, but it's always fun to see.
Kevon, how would you sort of describe your partnership with Draymond? I mean, you guys are often the only big guys out there, and you're, like you said, you're often giving up size.
Right.
And yet tonight, we sort of indispensable, vital to you guys winning.
Right. Yeah. We know we depend on each other a lot, and just anchor the defense. You know, I learned a lot from my whole career about you know, playing the backside on the defense and be able to talk guards through and communicate. And you know, when he's coming off the bench, he's definitely communicating things I need to do to get guys going and different things like that. And he's a guy that I can always hear talking and yelling and screaming to get in the right spot, different things like that. And also in pick and roll, I learned a lot from him, how to play in the pocket. And when we out there together, you know, knowing when to dive, knowing when to you know, be aggressive and different things like that. We got to kind of play in tandem. And I think we did a good job of that tonight. And we got to continue to do that.
Know the stat now, 28 consecutive series, the entirety of this whole era. You've won at least one playoff game in a one road game in a playoff series. How conscious of just that are you in the middle of this, in the middle of the crowd screaming that you got this in your pocket, that you have this experience, that you can pull it out?
I had no idea that was a thing, but I mean, that's amazing. Hopefully we continue this trend going forward. I mean, they have a great crowd, but since what we've been through, I don't think it's the biggest factor. We played in the most pressurized moments, whether it's the finals or the first round. So we just rely on our experience during nights like this.
Draymond, can you articulate sort of what Kevon Looney has become to this team and how much sort of a partnership you two have as the big guys, quote unquote, in this lineup?
Kevon has become like an Andre Iguodala, Sean Livingston, like a calming force. You know, when we were a lot younger in this run, we had those guys, Sean, Andre. That list goes on, but those two guys in particular, that no matter what was going on, I start turning the ball over, Clay go haywire, Steph go haywire, and they would come in and just calm us down. And Kevon is that for this team. He's that stabilizing force that allows everyone else to focus on what they need to focus on. And, you know, the way he rebounds the ball is incredible. His playmaking has you know, taken another step in the right direction and just continues to get better. And so, you know, he's a guy who we have the ultimate trust in. And, you know, also on the defensive end, you know, if you get beat, he's going to be there, you know. And I know for me, when I'm on the floor with him, I'm so much more comfortable on the defensive end just because he doesn't miss any assignment. And so he's been that guy for us all year, last couple years, and he's continuing to get better.
Steve said that this is a different team than a couple months ago, maybe even just to start this series. Do you guys agree that this is a different team and that's leading to winning a game on the road finally and moving this forward?
You know, I think this team is just, you know, we've really grown together. You know, every year, no matter if you bring the same guys back and you got the same team, every year that team has to grow together. And, you know, this year took a little longer than you normally like, but it's coming together at the right time for us. And, you know we have guys that we can put on the floor that we trust to make the right plays in these pressure situations. And, you know, it's starting to go well for us.
When's the last time you hit a fadeaway like that one you hit tonight?
It's been a minute, but I'll tell you what, I had that same shot, I think, in game 2, and I missed it. And I thought it was money. So I went back to it.
You remember what you averaged in 2016 per game points?
Maybe like 14 or something like that, 14 and a half.
Kevon said tonight reminded him a little bit of that. I mean, did it for you?
In game 4, I was extremely aggressive, I thought, and I just missed layups. And I told y'all after game 4, like, I missed 6 layups, and I'll make those. And so tonight coming into the game, I knew where my spots would be. And, you know, that's one of the luxuries of coming off the bench. You can kind of feel the game out, see what's going on. And, you know, if there's a need for something, you can come in and insert yourself into that need. Or, you know, if you see something that's working, you can go and fill that. And so, you know, having the opportunity to watch from the bench for the first 6 minutes and see, you know, pick up the flow of the game, I think has been big. And then also understanding, you know, where my spots are going to be. For the last 2.5 days. I've been in the gym every day working on those things, exactly where I know those shots are going to come from. And, tonight, the layups went down. I didn't miss them tonight, so it was pretty good. But, when you got guys like Clay and Steph and Jordan, Wiggs drawing all the attention that they're drawing, you have to make the defense pay for that, and I tried to do that tonight.
And as for a continuation on that, Draymond, you're sitting at the bench, seeing it from your point of view, because you came in, really aggressive. So can you just talk about, coming in and bringing that force off the bench?
Yeah, I mean, the way I view it is like I'm coming off the bench. Anything you come in and provide off the bench is luxury. It's an added bonus. And so, that was my mindset coming in. If I can come in and get this team something off the bench, I'm adding a bonus to this team. And so, I was able to get to the rim a couple times, as soon as I got in the game and, caught the floor of the game fast and then just tried to stay aggressive throughout.
Draymond, you guys limited De'Aaron to, I don't think he scored in the fourth quarter. What worked for you guys defensively, and how conscious were you of his finger?
I don't think he was conscious of his finger, so it wasn't nothing for us to be conscious of. He still, shot 25 shots and got some of the looks that he's been making. We were able to affect some of them, and they didn't go down tonight. But, when you're guarding a player like De'Aaron Fox, it's a total team effort. There's not one guy on any team that's just going to stop De'Aaron Fox. And so we know we have to rely on each other and guarding and trying to stop a guy like that. And, we had a little success tonight, but he's not stopping. They're facing an elimination game now. Clutch player of the year, he's going to come out and leave it all out on the floor, and we got to try to replicate that effort and also take away at a couple easy ones that we ended up giving them tonight.
Hey, I got a question for Klay Thompson. Klay, how many times
Klay is loving that y'all got him just sitting here.
I know,
so thank you, Ramona. I appreciate it.
Klay, how many times do you think you've been asked this year why you guys have trouble on the road? And do you, Steve said, I wish I had an answer for you. I'm sure you've given different versions of that answer. So how many times have you been asked, and why did you win here tonight on the road? Why did you finally get this done?
Probably at least 6 dozen times, so y'all can do the math. And I think being whole, again, obviously helps. I think when we know what the stakes are, we play, we're competitors and we play to that level. And we know how difficult it is to win in this building, and it just took a different level of focus than it would have in the past. And I just think this was probably the best win of the year, but when the clock strikes midnight, it's a new day, and we got to put it behind us because we really don't want to come back. We want to give our fans a show at home and hopefully finish the series there.
And Draymond, do you enjoy being like the villain? Do you kind of lean into that role as the heel when the whole arena's yelling at you and stuff like that?
No, I just be myself. I don't go chasing after some villain title. Being a villain is no fun. It's not enjoyable, but I'm also never ducking any smoke. So whether that's with a player, whether that's with a fan or a fan base, it is what it is, and you got to take the good with the bad. My thought coming in tonight was like, it was great to play in Game 4 and the cheers that I got when I came in the game for missing that game. Super special. On the flip side of that, if you're gonna bask in that and appreciate that, then you have to appreciate the other side as well. We pride ourselves on not being front runners, so I knew for me, I couldn't love and appreciate the love and cheers that I got at Chase and then come out here and fold because everybody's booing me from the time I came in the game. You got to take the good with the bad, and so that was my mindset coming in. I knew, these fans would be at me from the time I went in, and to be honest with you, I barely heard them. I was just dialed in on the task at hand and focused, and I wanted to make sure I didn't give them any of my energy tonight. I didn't give any of my energy to them. Anything other than winning this basketball game, I wanted to focus all my energy towards that. So I mean, for majority of a couple times I noticed him, but for the majority of the game, I didn't even hear him. I was just dialed in on the task.
Is that feeling to win a big road game, since you've done it now, obviously 20 consecutive times in a playoff series? Is it a familiar feeling? Is it something you soak in, or is it, what is it?
It's one of the best feelings in basketball, in the sense of figuring out a way to win in a hostile environment, and understanding, especially as a lower seed, but in any series, winning on the road is a big deal. It's hard to do. And then you add on the layer of how we've been on the road throughout the course of the regular season. So it was a big night for us, and you could feel the sense of accomplishment, after the game, from everybody on the bench, everybody on the floor. Just how good of a feeling it was. So obviously we got work to do to close out the series, but we needed this one. Snatch momentum back, and hopefully take advantage of it in Game 6.
Steph, was that you who started the Dre Nowitzki thing in the locker room, and just how big was he tonight?
He was awesome, like accepting his role, understanding how he can help us come out the bench, and he still plays 32 minutes, but he was everywhere. Offensively, the way that they're guarding us is huge for him to be aggressive. I know he wanted to finish better than he did, last game, and it looked like he knew right away those lanes would be there, and he was aggressive all night. That fadeaway was we've seen it before early in his career, and he works on it. But there's this kind of a flow to it. He knew he was the game said shoot, and he knocked it down. It was a big momentum play for us. So I joke with him, that might be the new, whenever the statues come down the road, that might be the new post.
Steph, you typically are the ones that catch some of the greats record-wise. But Loon tonight did something that Will has done here and Nate Thurman has done with your franchise in terms of 2 20-rebound games in the series. Just talk about him being in that neighborhood, and also just, I guess maybe it's an unappreciated art of rebounding, but his ability to be great at that.
It's special. I mean, like you said, those are 2 names that are in the rafters. And for him to join, any list with those 2 guys on there, speaks to just how special of a player he is and what he's become. I guess what his the expectation of how he impacts games, at this stage of in the playoffs, and just how important that skill set is. I don't know how he does it. We said it's a relentless effort, but it's just a knack for knowing where to be, and just the attitude that every ball that comes out the rim is his. And for him to do, from Game 5 of the Memphis series, or Game 6 of the Memphis series last year, when he was back in the starting lineup and he had one of these type of nights where it became like Najawan or whatever they used to call it, whatever the nickname is, and what he's been able to do this series, like it's special. And we'd love to see more of it.
Steph, it is a very familiar situation to be closing out and the crowd's going away and silencing them. But to be able to do it with Draymond and Clay out there, you guys have been doing it for so long. And Draymond and Clay just kind of got a little sentimental, saying, that they really cherish it. And maybe as you get older, the fact that you're doing this with the same guys, which doesn't happen a lot in professional sports, just how special a feeling is that part of it?
It's everything, because, each one of us have gone through a lot to try to sustain the level that we're at, and you hear all the talk about how long can we do it and whatnot, and our expectation to try to win championships. So I'm not saying that nights like tonight are anywhere compared to that, but they are a reminder of how hard it is to win at this level. Like you said, the reps that we've gone through over the course of a decade to, be the players that we are and, try to allow this journey to continue and not taking it for granted at all because, we're doing something that is very unique and is, something that could change at any point. And for us to be, in a position that we're still out there, still, creating results, like it's really dope. To think back of how it started and where we're at and how far we can take this.